Welcome to Event Radio, covering local drag racing, stock car racing, motorcycles, go-karts. If it's got wheels and you can race it, you'll hear about it here. Event Radio is motorsports radio on steroids. Now, let's join your hosts, Spivvy Williams and Terrible T Guy.
All right, guys, welcome to the next edition of Event Radio. This show is going to be a little different than the normal shows. We're not at an event, but we're going to talk a little bit about something that we all use, and we're going to be very, very informative, and this show could literally save you thousands of dollars, not to mention so many headaches that you just can't stand. And sometimes life's full of choices. We all make choices, and sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. And the ones you really remember are the bad ones, the ones you made that you thought looked good and thought were good, and then you had to live with your choice. And, boy, that's that's not good. The gentleman I get the pleasure, and it is a pleasure for me today because I'm going to enjoy this, is one of my best old friends. He and I go back a long ways. He can play golf, and I can't. And he rides a bike good and I don't. And he does all kinds of stuff cool. He knows about farming. He knows about horses. He knows about race cars. He knows about lots of stuff. But his biggest claim to fame lately is he is the regional sales manager for Universal Trailer Company. Now, why is that important? The one common denominator that we all have, whether we are talking right now to race car people, whether we're talking to motorcycle people, whether we're talking to go-kart people, whether we're talking to farmers, whether we're talking to rodeo people, whoever is listening to this show, the one common denominator that we all have, we all take our stuff in trailers to the things we do. It can either be a race car trailer that you have a toy in, or it can be like my good friends that use a Sooner trailer for their business and one of the big cattle farmers that use it and have fun with it and depend on the quality of that to make their living. So all of this stuff is important, and it's very important when you go to buy a trailer that you don't just buy glitz and glitter. You buy what you really need. That's what's important. But anyway, we're going to have a lot of fun with this show, and you're going to get educated a lot on trailers because my good friend Flat knows his business. He knows his stuff. Even though that he's my good friend, he's actually a pretty nice guy too. On that too. But we're going to take a few minutes. Going to introduce you to my buddy, Mr. Mark Crump, and we're going to talk some trailers. You're on Event Radio. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
On the track or on the street, the number one brand in performance is Holley. Have you heard about the Ultra Street Avengers, Ultra Double Pumpers, Ultra HP, and Ultra Dominator carburetors? They're ultra light, ultra cool, and ultra fast. Holley carbs are the most powerful carbs money can buy with no further modifications. Holley, winning performance for over 100 years.
All right, guys, we are back on Event Radio. Marcus, what's happening, my friend?
Not much, Biv. How you been?
Well, for an old fat guy, I guess I'm all right. You got the bad part about it. When you're like me, your stomach gets there for the rest of your body. And one of our good sponsors, it's funny, I've kidded people about this. One of our good sponsors is Beach Bend Park, Beach Bend Raceway, and Beach Bend Splash Lagoon.
Yeah, love it.
That's one of the very few places I can go and get my whole body wet at once. But we have a lot of fun. Trailer business is good, I know.
Yes,
it always is.
Yes,
it always is for you.
Yes, trailer business has been very good for us. It's, usually we have a little slack period in the summer, but this year and last year both, we haven't slowed down a second.
Well, everybody uses them, Mark. Nowadays, I mean, people don't even mow their own yard. You got guys that are hauling mega-dollar lawnmowers into neighborhoods to mow their yard for them, and yet they're using some really high-dollar trailers. I saw a guy using a Featherlight trailer to haul lawnmowers.
Oh, yeah. Well, you've got $30,000 worth of lawnmowers, you don't want to put them in a cardboard box. You want a good trailer.
And that's one of the things that I sort of said at the beginning of the show. I've got a real good friend, and matter of fact, my girlfriend, if you don't know the truth.
Good.
And her family is in the cattle business.
Mm-hmm.
They do beef cattle, and I don't know a thing about a cow. I know you do, but I don't. But we were talking, and they use a Sooner trailer, which is one of your brands.
That's correct. That's one of our brands.
One that you make. And I said, how come you bought that? Because I knew I was going to do the show with you. Mm-hmm. And I said, how come you bought that trailer? He said, oh, it's the best.
There you go.
And he said, we're dependent upon this trailer to put these cattle in that weigh all this weight to take them to wherever slaughter or whatever they do. I don't know. I don't even like to think about it. My girlfriend gets all teary-eyed when they leave, She falls in love with all of them. But still, they said, this trailer is our lifeline.
That's right.
We can't go take these to market without it. We can't take a chance on it breaking down because they'll die from the heat. Mm-hmm. It's got to work.
We do a lot of different types of trailers, of course, with most of them fall either into business or pleasure or a mix of those. And, all those cattle and livestock trailers, they're usually a tool, a good tool, and they can't have it tear up and can't have it break down.
Well, no, and that's why they use what you sell, buddy, and they don't buy Jimmy Joe Jump Shots trailer.
Right. Right.
The reputation of the Sooner trailer precedes itself. Mm-hmm. And just like my guys said, our livelihood depends on this trailer. Mm-hmm. I mean, we can grow these cattle, we can feed them, we can make them big, but if we can't get them to where we get our money, it's sort of pointless.
That's true.
And so they picked the Sooner to do that. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know a Sooner from a Later, from a Goner, from a whatever, Right. I don't know. Race car trailers, I do know. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've done that. And for a race car guy, it's probably just as important to him or more because he's got his labor of love in there.
That's true.
You see what I mean?
And a race car guy uses it probably more than a horse and livestock guy does.
Yeah.
They use it several times a week.
Yeah, and they're running it up and down the road wide
Right.
open and hoping that it tracks and hoping that they don't catch on fire and burn. And
that's true.
And you make a lot of different brands of those. Too.
Yes, yeah, we do. I'm proud to say I work for a company called Universal Trailer Corporation. We're a family of brands, and I think some of the best are all the best brands in the country. We own the company owns one of our family is Featherlight, horse and livestock and motorsports. We own Hallmark, which is a cargo company. We own Wells Cargo, the oldest cargo company in the United States. We also own Exus and Sooner. And we also do Hallmark motor coaches, the big toter homes. And
you could loan me one of those. You realize that?
Well,
they're only a couple of $1,000,000.
Yeah, but
that's all right.
I can't let you have my demo. So
oh, okay, all right. That's right. Yeah, right. That's called the pup tent in the back of the truck, right?
Yeah,
I understand.
That's right. And we also have a portable restroom.
I saw one of those. Those are cool.
UltraLav. Yeah, they're wonderful.
I mean, it's really a lot better. You go to an event, and those things are air conditioned. And
we have them with air conditioning and granite countertops, and we got them from mile to mile. Up to 8 or 10 stalls.
You're porta potties with an attitude, aren't you?
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
But all that stuff's important, and people that don't think about trailers,
right,
never realize that this is huge. This is an unbelievable business, guys. If you go to any NASCAR races, almost every big transporter that you see is a Featherlight trailer.
That's correct.
Every one of them, and those guys. How much faith do they put in their equipment? I mean, they got to go.
They got to go, and they can't stop, and they go fast, they go hard, and they go all year long.
That's right. Let me ask you something, and this is a question just to satisfy me, and I don't know much, but how come the spread axle trailer? What caused that? Because they used to be right side by side.
That's a great question. The spread axle does a couple of things for you. It allows you to pull a little longer trailer with a little lighter truck, because it distributes the weight a little bit better, and it actually makes the trailer a little more stable on the road. Mm-hmm. So that's the main reason. Besides, it looks cool, but other than that,
it does look cool.
But there is function to it. It does allow you. In other words, a 24-foot trailer and a race car trailer would probably need a 3/4 ton without the spread axle. With the spread axle, a heavy half with a nice motor in it. It does pretty good.
It pulls it without any problem.
Unless you're in mountainous carry, territory.
Well, nothing will pull it up Mont Eagle.
No,
I don't care what it was. Semi truck can't go through there. But I've seen those, and I think it's so neat. And all your NASCAR trailers are spread axle.
That's true.
Just about. And so those boys are the guinea pig, I guess you would say. If they can't tear it up, nobody's going to tear it up.
That's true.
And just about every one of those has that. And I wanted to find that out just for my information, if nothing else. How much, if I'm going to go out here and I'm going to buy me a used trailer, is there any way that I can look at that dude and know if or feel like it's going to pull good or not?
Unfortunately, no. You know, you can't. You know, unless you're a pretty good mind reader, there's no way to really tell. The first thing you can do is look at the tires and then crawl in there and look at the axles and see if the axles look bent or see if there's been any welds, any previous welds. You can also check for breaks in welds and just overall condition of the trailers.
Okay, yeah. I think that, but as far as axle placement, more to the front or more to the back or anything like that, like on a box trailer, like a race car box trailer, like a 24-foot, 28-foot, or something like that.
Well, there are a lot of different companies, and it's kind of if you don't know your diamonds, know your jewelers. So if you stick to some of the main companies, you know, if you of course I think of a lot of our brands, but if you stick to some of the brands that's been around for a long time, they've all done it pretty well for quite some time. A properly engineered trailer carries between in a bumper pull or tag type trailer between 15 and 20% of the total weight of the trailer loaded to the tongue.
Okay.
So if you are hooking to a trailer and you feel a ton of tongue weight, that's hard to say.
Yeah.
But if you do that, you might be suspect. So the weight does need to be balanced. We have some manufacturers that use standard wheel box placements. In other words, every trailer is 60 inches from the back or something like that.
Right.
We go down to the half inch even, you know, depending on the weight and the style and the use of the trailer.
Right. So it's pretty much a custom deal.
Yeah.
And if you buy a used one, you're at the mercy of whatever it is, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Which guys, trust me, it might be wise. And this is a unique show for you guys because the gentleman that's on here, he answers the questions for the dealer, and then the dealer answers them for you. So you got an opportunity here to listen to this and learn a lot from Mark because Mark goes to all the shows, all the big stuff, and he talks to all the dealers and tells them what they need to buy to sell to you. So this is pretty cool. I got to tell you, talk about tongue weight. I got to tell you a cute story. And this is funny. I got to make you laugh. Back when I was a kid, I used to drag race an old Corvette.
Yep,
and,
I remember.
Yeah, and our routine was we would race at Hardinsburg, Kentucky on Friday night. We would race in Owensboro on Saturday night and Beach Bend on Sunday. Well, my old man had a new Cadillac, and there was a little girl in the concession stand that I thought was just sharper than an 8-day clock. You know, I mean, I thought she was really good looking, and we borrowed a trailer to put this Corvette on. We didn't know that there was different size trailer hitch balls back then. We didn't know that some had a 2-inch, some had a 2 5/16, and some had an 1 7/8. We didn't know that. But we roughed it, and we hooked it on there, and it worked. Well, I go into Morgantown, Kentucky, and we're low on fuel. And, guys, you don't know where Morgantown, Kentucky is. I mean, I'm sure there's a few of you that listen to this that do know. But they have one red light, and right at that red light was a Gulf station. Well, we elected to buy fuel at the Gulf station. We pull in there. We're not paying any attention. The little serviceman comes out, and he's doubled over laughing, and he's pointing at us. And I'm thinking, what is wrong with this guy? You know? And he's pointing and laughing. And I rolled the window down. I said, can I help you? He said, it's Candid Camera, ain't it? I said, what? He said, it's Candid Camera. I said, no, but why are you asking? I turned around and looked. The trailer had come loose. And it's bobbing back and forth at the street because we had used an 1 7/8 ball and not a 2-inch ball. The old man's Cadillac, we're sitting in it like a bunch of fools, you know, and this Corvette's back there bobbing around. But at least we thought we made the Candid Camera show. So, you know, but I guess you've ever had anybody do that before, huh?
Oh, yes. Unfortunately, it's me.
Oh, you? Okay. All right.
Mainly the big mistakes I've ever made is not latching the gooseneck ball on a horse trip. You know,
you tear the tailgate off.
Well, fortunately, there was enough. It didn't come off, but it did scare me, though.
I've been up ours, too.
Yeah.
We had a fifth wheel, and I decided that it was more important to try to eat the shrimp before everybody else in the crew got it. And I pulled off, and that dude hit a bump and come loose. It was a ball.
Yeah.
And it came loose, and it took the whole tailgate, everything off that truck. And I said, oh, this is embarrassing. You know, trailers to a lot of people, trailers is home now.
That's true.
At the races. A lot of them have living quarters in them.
We do a lot of living quarters in the horse and livestock industry. Living quarters is probably at least 50 or 60% of the horse trailers that are sold.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, probably 30% of the cattle trailers now. Show cattle people use them, and a lot of folks like that. In the race car industry, we have our toter homes that we pull things with. They're on.
You make those too.
Yeah, we build.
Hey, I'll settle for one of them. If you don't want to give me a motorhome, I'll settle for one of them. They're nice, boy. They're classy.
Yeah, I'm real proud of our motorhomes. We do. We build on a Volvo 600 horse chassis with infinite shift transmission. Twin tandem screw axle and nice.
I can't even talk like that. I can't even talk about all that stuff.
Most of those are 45 feet. We have bunk models. We have motor garages. We have all kinds of different things. And
I know. I've seen them. They're gorgeous. Yeah. And then you do custom paint on them that just knock your eye out, man. Yeah. You're a show dog no matter what. That's what you take to the drive-in movie with your best girl.
That's right.
But or at least the drive-in where they come out and wait on you, and they think you got money. And
there you
go. But listen, I've seen some of those that are gorgeous, and you guys finish them out so nice on the inside.
Oh yeah, it's appointed like $1 million home inside. I mean, it really is, and they're not unbelievably affordable. A lot of our homes, our coaches are in the $400 to $425 range. That sounds like a lot of money, but at the same time, the truck part of it's nearly $200. So we put them on a nice truck.
Yeah. Well, and you put it on something that's going to last.
Oh yeah, 600 horse, 1,000,000-mile Volvo coach.
Yeah. So you can borrow money, and the nice thing about it, those things actually qualify as a second home for income taxes.
That's absolutely true, and you can finance them for longer terms, and there's a lot of benefits for that. And if you can use it in some form of business, it's huge tax advantages.
Well, keep talking, big boy. No. Boy, I tell you what, you could convince me, really. That's why you're a good salesman, I guess.
We'll have to go outside, and I'll show you the one I'm in.
No, I couldn't handle it. I can't handle it. Guys, we got to take a quick break before I get all tore up on this toter home deal. But we got to take a quick break and say hi to our commercial or our sponsors. You're on Event Radio, guys. Do not go away. We'll be right back.
Quick Fuel Technology, the innovators in fuel systems, introduces the latest in high-temperature coating technology for select street and performance carburetors. QFT's new Black Diamond series features a unique satin black Teflon coating that provides award-winning good looks and lasting durability. The Black Diamond series is impact-resistant, repels all underhood chemicals, and reduces fuel temperature by 6% for improved performance. The Black Diamond series by Quick Fuel, the ultimate in form and function.
All right, guys, you're back on Event Radio with my buddy, Mr. Mark Crump, the regional sales manager for Universal. I should have known that. I thought about Universal Studios. I like it down there. Universal Trailer Company, guys, the guys that manufacture the absolute class of the field trailers that you see running up and down the interstate every day. Mark, you do a lot of motorcycle events. You're going to Sturgis.
Yeah, we go to Sturgis every year. We have a factory booth there. It's a good chance for us to get with you can see a lot of people there, and all of them are using their trailers in some form or fashion. Even if they rode to the show, it's hard to get in front of that many people in a 2-week period, and we learn a lot from them. We know what they're liking and what they're looking for, and we end up selling a lot of trailers there, too. We have dealers there, too. We sell through a dealer network nationwide of almost 800 dealers for all our brands.
Yeah.
And so when we go to Sturgis, we go to all the bike shows. We go to both Daytonas. We go to the Rock Rally in Texas, in Austin, Texas, Laconia, all these different shows.
Can I ride in one of them? No,
absolutely.
Just sneak me in there. But no, I don't want to sneak me in. Bring me in one of them big motorhomes like you got out here and let me go into that, Yeah. If you're going to be a bear, be a grizzly.
That's right.
You might as well.
We have a trailer named Grizzly, by the way.
I figured you probably did. I figured I couldn't say anything that you didn't have it covered. I've been fortunate. I've run a trailer up and down the roads, and I've done factory trailers, and I've done homemade trailers. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of difference there.
A lot of difference.
Oh, buddy, the factory trailer just sits there and rides, and you forget it's there. Mm-hmm. And the homemade doesn't do that.
No, one of the things that's huge in our market and our industry right now is the transformation from steel frame, aluminum skin trailers to all aluminum frame trailers, and it's growing so fast. I'd say, at any one time, I have probably 100 race trailers on order for my region at any one time, and I'd say, 2 years ago, there might have been 5 all aluminums. Now it's probably 30, 35.
Well, don't they save a lot of fuel towing them?
Quite a bit, but the longevity of the trailer, you don't have to worry about rust. You don't have, when you take it to Daytona, you don't have to worry about getting any rust or anything on it. But you don't lose a ton of weight. If you're losing too much weight, you're losing too much frame. Because if you take 30% out of a trailer, and the steel frame trailer and aluminum skin trailer, is the only difference is the frame. So if you're taking 30% of the total weight of the trailer out of the frame, it's too light. So, but you will save 10, 12, 15% on a good quality trailer. So, so if somebody says, I'm 30% lighter, should be a red flag, because how did you get 30% lighter? You could be.
What did you cut? Yeah. There's hardly anything in this world, my friend, that you can't make a little less quality and sell a little cheaper.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's, you got to sacrifice something.
Yeah.
I mean, you just, raw materials cost so much. You got to pay a welder so much, and you've got to cut a corner somewhere.
Yeah. I can build you a good trailer, and I can build you a cheap trailer, and I can give you good customer service, but I can't give you all three. You're going to either have, there's a cheap trailer's not going to be what you want. And
there's an old saying, and I got to, boy, correct me if I say this wrong. The sweetness of low price is forgotten long before the bitterness of poor quality.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
And you save that money right this minute, but on down the road, you're pulling your hair out because of what you did.
That's true. And, satisfaction, isn't expensive. It's
priceless.
It's priceless.
I know.
It truly is. But the biggest thing that I see people do is one of the words I hate in the English language is settle. When you're talking about spending $15,000 to $25,000 for a trailer and you're saving $1,000 to settle for something, don't do that. Go ahead and get what you really want, and you'll always be glad you did. It goes back to what you said about long-term satisfaction.
I've got a little saying that I tell my girlfriend all the time, and I tell her, I said, the one thing I never want to hear you say is, "I wish I had."
Yeah, that's true.
I want you to say, "I'm glad I did." And whether it's going to the lake and riding in a boat, or trying to ride the jet ski that we bought, or whatever, when you say, "I wish I had," that's a bad thing.
That's a regret. You don't.
That's a regret. Yeah. And I'm enough of them for her. She doesn't need it anymore.
Right. Yeah.
We just don't tell her about it.
Oh,
okay?
No, she won't listen to this.
No, she won't listen to this. No,
that's right.
She probably will, but I'll get me in trouble. But anyway, it's a thing that. I think the quality, you can't get too much quality, especially like my friends with the Sooner trailer. This is their livelihood, buddy. This is what's going to make their money to put food on the table, which it's not really. I mean, I guess they're, but the average person that's a big rancher or a big farmer or a big whatever, this is a piece of equipment that makes a living.
Sooner Trailer's been one of Sooner's Trailer started building trailers in. The first trailer they ever built was actually a pig trailer.
Really?
Because they had pig shows over from Duncan, Oklahoma, and they had.
All right, now wait a minute. Do pigs actually get rid of snakes?
That I don't know.
Okay, well, I've heard that. A girlfriend told me that.
Well,
she said that pigs, if you have pigs, you don't have snakes.
Well,
there's pigs in my future. I'm scared to death of snakes. There's pigs in my future, buddy.
Well, they get you one of those potbelly pigs.
Well, I'd probably think he was cool.
Yeah,
but no. Say a pig trailer was the first one, huh?
Yeah, a pig trailer was the first Sooner trailer, and it came out of a need. There's a big, huge pig show in Duncan, Oklahoma every year.
Really?
Yeah, huge.
Wow.
It's one of the biggest ones in the country. And, they were coming in there with everything shape, form, or fashion. So the folks that originally owned Sooner started building pig trailers and quickly wound up to building everything. We do everything now. You can put hot tubs and fireplaces in your trailers now if you want to.
No kidding.
Absolutely.
Ooh, I like that. That way, when I can't afford to tow it, I can go out there and sit in it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there you go. What is the single biggest mistake people make buying a trailer?
I think for me, the single biggest mistake is not looking past the walls. If you look at a trailer, they're all, like all the livestock trailers, they're all shiny, they're all silver, they're all gooseneck. If you look at the cargo trailers, they look like a box of air, and it's, there's no, say they're all the same. They're not all the same. There's so much difference in them. It's unbelievable the amount of difference in them. When you go behind the walls and look behind the walls and see how they're made, there's unbelievable amounts of difference. And, you can save $100 or $200 by not buying one brand over the other, but cost yourself $1,000 in the long run.
Well, that's back to the quality.
Yeah,
that's back to the quality.
Yeah. And it's hard to look behind the walls and see, but at the same time, that's what I would challenge you to do. And also, the second thing is when you're buying a trailer, there's a use for it, a main use. Mm-hmm. Well, don't buy one if I need buy a size. Like I need a 7x16 cargo trailer.
Yeah.
Well, what are you going to use it for? Well, I'm hauling lawnmowers. Okay, so you're hauling lawnmowers, and you haul 2 lawnmowers. How many yards do you do a day? I do 5 yards a day. So there's 10 drops of that door, one down, one up, every day, all day long, probably 10, 11 months out of the year.
Right.
You don't want a cheap trailer. You want a good trailer. You want a trailer that'll last.
Yeah.
And I think that's the second biggest mistake that people make.
I think you're right. I think you're right because, and that's funny that you use the back door because I saw a guy in my own neighborhood with the tailgate. When he backed off of it, it fell off. And he did his best Evel Knievel act, on this zero turn mower, trying to jump in there, And it was actually fairly comical, but I didn't say anything. I didn't want to cause a problem. But you're exactly right. The quality always plays into it. Always.
Yeah, I always call it step over dollars to pick up pennies. You save a couple $100, but then 3 years down the road you've already traded twice. And if you'd have bought the better trailer first part, you wouldn't have had to trade. It cost you a lot more money in the end.
Oh, it always does.
It always does. But those are the biggest mistakes. And then the other side of it is not letting your dealer, there's a third mistake, not letting your dealer help you decide exactly what you do need. Uh-huh. Because your dealers are highly skilled, they're highly trained. This is their life too. Yeah. And, we have some of the best ones in the country. And, no matter what brand of ours or what you could ever do with your trailer, there's a good dealer that'll help you down the lane. So make sure you got a dealer you like. Mm-hmm. And he'll help you pick the brand and the use and the application you like, and then you'll get to the right trailer.
And you'll have somebody to come back to if you have
Absolutely.
A problem. I mean, the good dealers, these fly-by-night deals that you see that's got some trailer that somebody, Ho Chi Minh, wherever made or mm-hmm. whatever, they sell all their bunch and they will spend their money, and you'll never see them again.
All right. They'll be there today and gone tomorrow.
That's it. If Mark was going to go buy a trailer, mm-hmm. and let's say Mark had determined he needed a 16-foot. Mm-hmm. Should Mark buy an 18-foot just because he knows he's going to grow into it, or should he buy exactly what he needs?
That's a good question. If you ever think that you're going to go to the 18 or a 20-foot, it's better to go ahead and do it now. In other words,
they don't cost that much difference.
There's not a ton of difference, and the difference in the widths, too. In a cargo trailer, you got 6, 7, 8, 8.5. And we have some 7.5 trailers. Our all aluminum motorcycle trailers are my favorite trailer we have now. It's in the Hallmark and the Wells cargo line. They're 7.5 foot wide standard. That allows you to get the wide handlebars and the bags in there and not have to worry about it, where everybody else's trailers are 7. I really like that. But I think the main thing is to pick a width and a length that you think you're going to use maybe a year or two down the road.
Yeah, well, that's a smarter investment.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And plus, it makes it a little easier to sell when you get rid of it, I would think.
True.
Because there's more uses.
That's absolutely correct.
I don't know a lot about it, but mm-hmm. to me that makes sense,
Yeah, the 8.5 wide, 8.5 by 20 and 24s, they got tons of use. You can haul 3, 4 motorcycles, 6 motorcycles in a 24 possibly, and you can still use a car. You can still use it for racing. You can still use it for lawnmowers. We get a lot of people that, dual use it because they can use it for fun, and if they got a business, they can help, they can write it off in their business. If they're using lawnmowers, and they clean it out and put it in there. A lot of construction people, use them double.
Let's take your big motorhome that's out here. Towing an enclosed trailer with a car in it, or towing an open trailer with a car on it. Okay. Which way is the best ticket as far as like a camper? Let's say a camper.
Oh, well, we do. We also have an all-aluminum line of open and small trailers, too.
I know that.
But you catch more air on, there's a couple things. They say open trailers are for guys that like to wash your bike. So I guess it'd be the same for your car. When it's put in, it's locked, it's sealed up. When you get to the show or get to wherever you're going, you don't have to wash it and clean it up. So I prefer the enclosed. And actually, you can haul any. If you take a 20-foot, let's say you got a show car, Camaro, Chevelle or something like that, and you're taking it back and forth to shows. You don't want to drive it. It's a 10-point car. When you get there, you ease it out. It's already clean. It's already done. You don't have any bugs. You don't have any water. You don't have anybody scratching it. You don't have anybody looking at it when they come down, putting fingerprints and handprints on it.
Right.
I just prefer that. Now the open trailers are usually used for quick runs. Like I'm going to take my car to the to the paint or to the paint shop or to this or that or something else.
But what about, let's say, an older person with a motorhome mm-hmm. that wants to put a Honda on the back of it? Mm-hmm. That and really doesn't want to fight getting in an enclosed trailer to get in and out of it.
Then that's the perfect customer for either a tow dolly behind, where he just puts his front tires on the trailer.
I'm not a fan of those.
Those they're a little hard to back up.
Well, that scares me. Well, I'm hard. You want to ride my pontoon boat, buddy?
No,
I'll tell you what. I got to tell
you drive.
No, well, I'm going to tell you. We bought the pontoon because Brenda liked the pontoon. I've hit everything but the lottery at the lake, trying to learn to drive this thing. That's like driving a slinky.
Yeah, it's hard
and finally. We talked about it, and I went ahead and rented 2 slips so I could park it. That's embarrassing.
No,
but back in a trailer, the little short jobs are the hard ones.
Absolutely. I recommend behind any motor coach, even if you're not using it, I like an 18 or 20-foot trailer because it's easier to pull. If you're behind a motorhome or motor coach of any kind, that way when you back it up, you can see it easier. And without a rear view camera, and if you've got a rear view camera on your deal, it's always backwards, so you never know what to look at.
Thank you, mine is too.
And so, but anyway, I like a 18 or 20 foot. It gives you a nice thing for a car trailer, and we build those in all of our brands.
Okay, all right. We got to take another quick. We got to get some more stuff sold here.
Okay.
Hang on. Guys, we're having a blast here. I'm learning more about trailers, and here I pull one all over the country with a race car forever. But I've got my friend, Mr. Mark Crump, joining me. And when you've got somebody as knowledgeable on a subject as him, you need to listen, guys. Don't go anywhere. You're on Event Radio. We'll be right back.
On the track or on the street, the #1 brand in performance is Holley. Have you heard about the Ultra Street Avengers, Ultra Double Pumpers, Ultra HP, and Ultra Dominator carburetors? They're ultra light, ultra cool, and ultra fast. Holley carbs are the most powerful carbs money can buy with no further modifications. Holley, winning performance for over 100 years.
All right, guys, you're back on Event Radio with my buddy, Mr. Mark Crump, and I will get Universal right, Universal Trailer Company. And we were talking during the break while you were listening to other stuff. The differences between a tongue-type trailer and a fifth-wheel trailer. And, I think back when I started drag racing years ago, they were all tongue-type trailers. Mm-hmm. And then somebody got the brilliant idea of watching a semi-truck. Mm-hmm. They weren't tongue-type. They had a fifth wheel.
Yeah.
And they were stable. Mm-hmm. They pull good. Tell me the difference.
Well, a lot of it depends on your tow vehicle. In order to pull, you can pull the tag type or bumper pull trailers. With anything small. To get a gooseneck, you probably need a 3/4 or 1 ton, but it'll pull such a much larger trailer. So you end up with 8 feet of extra trailer that you're using. Your double use in the bed. You got the bed for the truck, but then you have the gooseneck portion of the deal. A gooseneck trailer will turn a little quicker. Will back up a lot easier. You can back a gooseneck in places you can't pull it in. So There's some places like that. And in our horse and livestock trailers, the goosenecks are probably 80% of the total market. And, because most of the people that are using the ag type trailers have some type of 3/4, 1 ton or heavier truck so they can pull them with.
Right.
Because you need that extra weight. When you're putting all that weight in the middle of your bed, the fifth wheel ball in a truck's 3 inches in front of center line of your axle, so you do put some on the nose, on the tongue, and everything else. You can now on your gooseneck trailers, we put between 25 and 28% of the total weight of the trailer on the gooseneck ball. So that gives you extra carrying capability back in your horse and livestock area.
So if you want to run Coors beer from the West Coast to the East Coast, you got enough trailer and enough to do it, right?
Yeah, you can put it on over the
front.
Yeah,
of course you can't hold much up there, but
we do a lot of those, and on our horse and livestock trailers, especially our horse trailers, a great portion of those now because easier to put living quarters. You sleep over the bed of the truck.
Right.
It's a built-in bed system set up. They're almost all gooseneck now. We build them in straight load and slant load. Slant load, your horse is actually sitting at almost a 45 or 60 degree angle.
Whoa! I don't understand that. What do you mean?
Well, if it's in a straight load trailer, from the nose of the trailer to the tail of the trailer, they're like the horse. The nose of the horse is up front and the tail's in the back, and they set them side by side.
Okay.
In a slant load, they set them at an angle so their nose is looking out one side of the trailer, and their back end's is being faced to the other.
Okay.
That lets them ride a little easier.
Okay.
On some trailers. Now, your large warm blood animals are typically straight load because they need the extra width. They're great big horses. They're 17 hand tall, 1,500-pound animals up to 2,000 in some cases.
Yeah.
And so they need the extra room, so they're straight loads.
It's amazing what kind of thought process goes into building these things. Nobody would ever figure that, Mark.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, they would never think about that, seeing a trailer go down the road, whether the horse needed to be one way or the other.
Yeah.
And you guys have thought about all that. I mean, you know your business, and that's cool.
We can even adjust the widths of the stall to fit your animals. If you have particular animals, if you've got old Susie that you like out in the back, and you need a bigger stall, we can increase the pen setting. And you've got Judy, and she's a little bitty horse. We can move her, fix her so she's set up too. So if your types of animals we've got, we can set them up for those.
Guys, it sounds to me like you need to really pay a lot of attention to your dealer when you're buying these things. There's so much more to know. And here I'm a guy that's used a trailer a lot, and I had no idea. I had no idea that they were as they are. Gosh, there's so many things to ask. I'm sort of dumb here.
Well,
welcome to my world.
One of the things that I think a lot of people overlook in some of our companies, some of the companies in the industry, they just kind of like backyard mechanics. They just go and build a trailer.
Yeah.
There's no engineering thought to it. In every one of our divisions, we have an outstanding engineering department. We have 8 or 10 guys in engineering at every division, and we're actually, not only do we make sure the trailer works, but we make sure it's strong enough, fit enough, and built properly, so you don't have any troubles going down the road.
Well, see, that's like I talked about my friends with the Sooner trailer. Mm-hmm. They bought that because those animals, if you break it down
mm-hmm.
in the heat, and they can't move around, they can't breathe, they can't nothing, they can get sick and die and cost you a tub full of money, a lot more than that trailer cost.
Yeah, they sure can.
I mean, it. All of that's very important.
Airflow in a livestock trailer is huge. It's hard to freeze a horse or a cow, but you can sure overheat them too quick, and
that's
will
what
die.
I said. They'll die, and look what that's cost you. I mean, you spent a tub full, and plus Brenda would cry about them all. I mean, she's the only girl I've ever seen with a farm, and cries when she has to get rid of the animals.
Does she name them too?
Oh yeah, and she talks to them too. But that's okay.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's all right, because she gets little calves and falls in love all over again.
There
so that's good. But I don't know. I think that your business is very fascinating to me. I guess because I've done it.
Mm-hmm.
I've used them. I've had trailers with problems.
Mm-hmm.
I've had one I couldn't keep tires on because they had the axle a little bit out of sync, and we'd tear up more tires than the law allowed. I couldn't figure out why. Finally, somebody which was smarter than me, which wasn't very hard to do, said, "Look, your axle's crooked." And so there's so many things that the novice doesn't know to look for. And I think that's where, like you at a show, for example, and guys, trust me, you're getting the benefit of a lot of traveling right here on this show, getting to listen to this gentleman, because you'd have to travel to shows all across this country to learn about the different kinds of trailers that we've been talking about.
Yeah, we work a lot of shows from up in Canada and Nova Scotia to Texas to California to Florida. We've even got dealers in Chile and Puerto Rico.
Can I carry your suitcase in this motorhome? This thing's pretty doggone nice out here.
We'll put it in a cedar line closet.
Thanks a lot. Everything I got's got holes in it already. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all.
You'd like the 600 horse. That's what you'd like.
Oh, well, maybe. I don't know whether I would or not. I'm sort of low and slow anymore. I'm not too crazy anymore.
Those motor coaches amaze me. And one of our fastest growing markets in the motor coach is what the RV industry calls full-timers.
Yeah, they live in them.
They live in them. But the problem is, just think for yourself, Spivvy, if you decided to sell your home and go full-time, you get everything downsized, you get everything set ready, and you think, I'm done. Then you go to the garage. Oh, my gosh, what am I doing with all this stuff in the garage?
Right.
Everybody's got toys. Everybody's got from anywhere from a car to a toy car to motorcycles to bikes to kayaks to whatever. How you going to do those? So you get a trailer, and you put the trailer behind your motor coach.
So it's your garage, basically, right?
It's your garage. So the difference in the motor coaches and like the Prevost buses that we sell, our motor coaches will tow 40,000 pounds.
Okay.
That's the towing capacity.
So you tow a 3-car garage by that, huh?
Yeah, and then like a Prevost bus, they'll tell you it's a 15 to 18, 20,000 pound towing capacity, but it's usually only one time a month. After it's if you do it all the time, you're going to burn your coach up.
Okay.
So that's the main function for our toter homes or Hallmark.
And you don't want to
coaches.
burn up $1 million coach.
No, sir. No, sir.
I mean,
you don't.
that sort of. I mean, even I'm smart enough to know that. I've always been fascinated by those living as close to Nashville as we live,
Right.
and seeing all the country music people running up and down the road in those things, and they're gorgeous. I mean, they're beautiful, but what you do is much more practical.
Yeah. Well, if it all depends on if you need the towing capacity. Then
Yeah.
there's second to none. I mean, it's a full 600-horse road tractor, 1,000,000-mile coach.
Yeah. So
We sell a lot of them.
Can you stop at the trucker section in a truck stop and have a cup of coffee?
Absolutely. They kind of like it. And they all want to look inside it, though. If you go in there and say, can I look in your coach?
I did that once.
You did?
Yeah, I got to tell you this quick story, guys. I had been all over the country with a 39-foot Chaparral fifth-wheel trailer and a dually. Well, back then the deal where you ate at Union 76 truck stops. That was always, and they always had a section marked off truckers only. Well, I sell the Chaparral and I sell the truck, and I go to Nashville and I buy a road tractor. We're going to switch over to a furniture type van to haul a funny car in and a road tractor. I learned to drive it on Broadway in downtown Nashville. First off, I almost put a man over the bridge because looking through the little windows in the door, I didn't know how to drive it, but I got it going. Well, we're coming up, for those of you who do not know Nashville, when you leave Nashville and come out through Millersville, you come up Bethel Road. Bethel Road had a Union 76 truck stop up there. Guy following me in the truck coming home, and I've made it through all these gears, and I've made it up this hill, but I pull off in the Union 76. And he comes running up to the cab door, and he said, "What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong?" I said, "Nothing. There's nothing wrong." "Well, what are you doing?" I said, "Come on in." We walk in. He said, "What in the world are you doing?" I said, "Hey, we're sitting in the trucker section. We're having a cup of coffee. I got a truck." I've been all over the country and couldn't sit there. Now I got a doggone truck, and I'm sitting in the trucker section. So if you got one of your motorhomes, I guess you could get by with that.
Yeah, they wouldn't care.
They wouldn't care.
No.
No,
You
okay.
just tell them you got 600 horses. I got 600 horses.
like what is that, like Home Improvement or something? What's Mark's favorite trailer?
Mark's favorite trailer is that's hard to say because I've got
You got several.
I've got open.
You're into horses. You're into horses.
I'm
You're
into
into
horses.
motorcycles.
I'm into antique tractors.
Antique tractors
I'm
and cars.
I've got old cars. I've got more. My wife says I've got more hobbies than I've got sense, and I think that's pretty easy. Of course, it didn't take many.
Well,
but,
she's a nice girl and she's smart.
yeah, she's smart. I don't know.
Of course,
why she
I don't know
married
how
me.
she's going to ever hire a pallbearer for you.
Well,
but no, I'm just.
I've got 3 of them already paid.
Oh, do you? You
Yeah,
already
I've
paid
got
3
3 of them
Okay.
paid, but
All right.
and maybe. I don't know. We'll find some more. We'll
Okay,
get some,
we'll hire somebody,
some
yeah.
winos off the street. Anyway, but no, I do. It's hard to say. I really like our aluminum products, and that's from the Featherlight, the Exus Sooner, and in our Hallmark and our Wells Cargo. I guess my favorite trailer right now would be one of our Hallmark or Wells Cargo car trailers, or race car trailers. Either the ALX or the Silver Sport would be the names. I prefer a 28-foot spread axle,
Okay.
and it's just a good functioning trailer. Of course, I'm going to deck it out with cabinets and air conditioner and freezer strips and
Pimp mobile.
Yeah, Pimp Mobile. I'm going to have anywhere there's a light. I'm going to have it LED, and it's going to be nice and slick. That's what I like.
Well, that's you, my boy. That's you. You've
Yeah.
always been that way. You've always liked the cool stuff, and I think it's cool. And guys, this is the American way it should be. When a gentleman works for a company and he would spend his own money on his product, you've got a pretty good piece being built.
Yeah.
And you would do that. You would buy a trailer from you.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
own several of them.
I know you do. I know you do. And plus, let's talk about this motorhome some more. Just borrow it. Don't buy it. Just borrow it. I mean, it's probably $500,000 or more.
Yeah, this one is about
No.
$650.
Thanks a lot, boy. Bring it to the ghetto, right? Bring it to the ghetto. Make me look bad.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Listen, my friend, we're gonna have to quit. This has been so much fun.
Enjoyed it.
But it's been educational. It's been it's been what everybody that runs up and down the road, and I don't care, just like I said in the beginning, whether it's a motorcycle, go-kart, race car, cow, hog, pig, or a cow. I mean, or a horse. Mm-hmm. There is a trailer, and you guys at Universal make a trailer to fit that.
Yes, sir.
And you make the quality trailers that will let you get there, let you get home, and not lay down on you on the side of the road. And that's important.
Well, thank you, Spivey. We try hard to we have people working every day trying to make our trailers better and try to keep the cost down and try to make them better every day.
Okay, guys, we're going to take one last quick break, and we'll be right back.
Quick Fuel Technology, the innovators in fuel systems, introduces the latest in high-temperature coating technology for select street and performance carburetors. QFT's new Black Diamond series features a unique satin black Teflon coating that provides award-winning good looks and lasting durability. The Black Diamond series is impact-resistant, repels all underhood chemicals, and reduces fuel temperature by 6% for improved performance. The Black Diamond series by Quick Fuel, the ultimate in form and function.
Well, guys, what do you think about the trailer show? I tell you, it's really neat when you've got a friend or on my side of the table like Mark that knows his business so well, irregardless of whether it's trailers or whatever it is. When you've got a friend in the business of doing things and you know they know their stuff, that's who you need to go to and talk to when you do it. Don't just go spend your money on Jimmy Joe jump shots, pieces, trailer. That's not going to do what you want it to do. We appreciate, as always, you listening to Event Radio. We never, ever close our program without thanking the most important people next to you, the listener, our sponsors. We got to have them. We can't get along with it. The great guys at Holley Performance, it makes no difference what you need for your hot rod. You can go to Holley.com, check it out. If you can't find a part for your hot rod at Holley, my friend, you do not have a hot rod. The great guys at Quick Fuel Technologies, the absolute best carburetor on the planet, bar none. It makes no difference what you do. When you get your carburetor in the box, you'll notice a little gas smell because every one of them is put on a motor and run and tuned in before they ever ship it to you. And that's where quality comes from. The great guys, Beach Bend Park, Beach Bend Raceway, Beach Bend Splash Lagoon, where T and I spend most of our summer going out to introduce you to people from all over the country at all the events. There are 26 multi-day events this year at Beach Bend, and Event Radio gets the pleasure of being at all of them. And if we get some time off, I'm going to have Brenda take me and get my whole body wet at the water park. You know, it takes one of those when you're a big guy, that's what it takes to get it done. But the great people, Beach Bend Raceway, Beach Bend Park, and Splash Lagoon. Last but not least, my good friend, Mr. Jimmy B. at GearheadGazette.com. Every event in this city, or in not this city, but in this whole region, that's cool, you go to GearheadGazette.com. You will find out who, what, when, and where of everything that's going on in the car hobby. They are the actual source for everything that's going on. We appreciate more than you know you listening to Event Radio. We actually have grown so much, so fast, that it's even scary to us. But we appreciate your loyalty. We appreciate your listening. And we'll do one last thing for us. If you have enjoyed what you have heard, tell a friend. If you haven't, you keep that to yourself. There's no doubt about it. Mark, let's go ride this motorhome, boy. It's $600,000. I'm going to style and profile. You're on Event Radio, guys. Thank you for joining us, and we will talk again.
You've been listening to Event Radio, covering local drag racing, stock car racing, motorcycles, go-karts. If it's got wheels and you can race it, you heard about it here. Event Radio is motorsports radio on steroids. Join us next time with your hosts, Spivey Williams and Terrible T Guy.